Welcome into the Bobby Carpenter Show on this fabulous Monday, Schlegs. Fabulous. Ghetto fabulous. Excited to be on here with you. Went into the Woody today.
Yeah.
A little bit like the calm before the storm, Schlegs. When I walked in, like parking lot kind of empty. Strength coaches rotating in. I believe Kenny had this morning, AT had this afternoon, and then we've got Rose and Higgs are going to split tomorrow. Coach Mick was in there. A John Simon sighting. Nate Ebner came cruising through, but he can't work out as much as he used to because of his actual meetings. A couple players trickling in, some guys getting some treatment, but you can taste it, you can smell it. It's reporting week, and Mick was like, time for the 4-month march. He's like, I wish we had more time. More guys just want to train. And John Simon was like, dude, your time is done. Like this is your work's in the barn now at this point, and now it's just getting them through the rest of August, September, October, November. And then can you get to the tournament? And what does it look like when you get there? It used to always be like, 4 months and then you had a bowl game. Well, now it's more like 5.5, depending on how long you're going to play. But they put that whole off season in, and now the time is here and training camp is almost upon us, as they'll be reporting on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's funny because Friday I took – a little bit about the weekend. Friday, I took Hunter and his buddy and his dad from Jacksonville. We went and played Scarlet, and there was a bunch of dudes out there playing the course, right? I mean, it's Friday. They got done training that morning, and they need a little bit of time to just, catch your breath. And it's funny, whenever somebody starts, their wellness journey at the Armory, the number one thing I always tell them is you have to get your mind right to be able to do it, to go all in and embrace the process. And you and I have been talking about them reading all about the process and Chop Wood Carrying Water. And what a great book that was for a young team. And again, that's just the nuggets and getting in the weeds of what does each individual team need? 2025 versus 2024 versus 2023 doesn't matter. I'm really excited for this. They got a couple more days. It's on you. Get your body right. Make sure you're hydrating. Make sure you stay up. That's why they run the groups. This is the time where they give them a little bit of autonomy. Normally we're like, no, you train at 6, you train at 8, you train at 10. And we're telling you, we dictate what groups you train with. Because I know if it was you, me, and AJ, Bob, right now training, we probably wouldn't be able to just train together in our own little group like we did back then, because it was not, we don't want you guys to make each other, but we want you guys to make other guys.
I don't care about anybody else, Schlegs. I'm trying to make myself better and the dudes in my room. Everybody else they can deal with themselves. I'll yell at other people while I'm training.
Dude, and there's no doubt you would. But again, that's why they have this time. It's kind of like, get your mind right. You know what to expect. It's going to be a very physical camp. Make sure you go in at max capacity. They have a great ooze-in process into full contact, which I like. We got you coming up on August 1st in your run. So it's going to be I'm excited for it. Plus we get to actually talk about real ball.
Yeah, real practices, real ball with real dudes. So pretty juiced about that. As you mentioned, I got my conditioning test coming up on Friday. I mean, it's been soupy here in Ohio. It has been hot and frothy with a lot of humidity. Now, for the Buckeyes starting training camp, there's some storms coming through Wednesday night, Thursday. So, and then it's going to cool down, a little bit of a cold front. So in the load at mid 80s. So not like what they've had. So that's bodes well for me on that Friday, Schlegs. I ran 18. I didn't really work out Friday. Ran 18 half gassers over at the turf, over at the high school on the practice fields at Arlington.
That's great. They
had some sort of graduate, former lacrosse players tournament going on one field, and then you got me on the other. And I went in there, I go, got after a little bit last night, but got some pretty good sleep. Was in bed about 11:30. I had a bottle of wine or so, maybe a little more, a couple bourbons before that, a couple sippers, as you like to call them. Got some work done around the house. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go over there and challenge myself. Let's see what we got. And because I didn't really
This
run
was
off
after the fact. This was after the fact.
After the fact. Yeah, no, that's not, well, I'm like, I'm going to see what I got. The next morning, I go, I need to get to work. I'd kind of talked. I was like, maybe I'll go to the track and do some long distance. So, you know what? Let's get as close as we can to the edge without jumping over it. And I started thinking about it. I do Striders on Striders on Tuesday. So I'll do some 110s, leg it out, get some of that top end speed going, Schlegs. And I'm probably going to do an abbreviated version of my deal on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I'm just probably going to do some back and skip the legs. And then maybe do a little elliptical, maybe a little warm up, do some things so that I'm fresh and ready on Friday. And so I went there with the decided heart, and I'm reading the Traveler's Gift, like the companion guide. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was reading the chapter on Christopher Columbus again yesterday, and he's got like all these letters, Andy Andrews, from people that have written him stuff, and I'll have a decided heart. It's like I'm going to go over there. I'm going to run at least 16. Like after I decided that I wasn't going to go to the track and run like a mile and a half or do some quarters or something, I'm going to go there because I'll do this. I'll do the striders, do maybe a little elliptical and some warm up Thursday, and I'll be ready to go. And this will be kind of it. I don't want to tax my joints because my back hurts a little bit from just doing that. And I got there. I was like, all right, I got to 10, and it was pretty bumpy. And I was running the first handful on 16, and my heart rate wasn't really falling like I thought it would or probably should have because I was running in soup. It was so humid and muggy.
Yeah, dude.
I was like trying to breathe in the vapor. All the steam room training I get, I think, is finally helping out, just huffing in that hot, moist air. And, like 14, 15, like talking yourself through it. And I was like, all right, I got the 16. I got a pair left in the bag. Like, let's go all the way to 18. And did it. I could have done 20. It was there. It would have been painful, but I could have done it. So I feel good psychologically.
In your lowest moment, I would say not lowest moment, but like physiologically, probably the worst state to go be able to do that. You did 18, no problem. I mean, you got 20 in the bag, man.
No problem isn't exactly. I mean, I was in a little bit of pain. I could have finished it. So much of that, Schlegs, it's just the willingness to go. Do
you want to go? Do you want to go to those depths, Bob?
Yeah,
do you want to go to those depths?
And do you want it to hurt a little bit? And it's like doing hard things is good for you. So that's why I was like, I'm at 16. I'm like, let's go for 18. I haven't done 18 yet this year. That'll be the final stage point as I do this. I've got good speed. I've got my turns down. The thing is, my stride has gotten shorter as I've gotten older. So I don't leg it out quite as much. So my turns aren't quite as good with how I do it. Cause I have to like overstride at the end to make sure my feet line up for like fast turns. I think I got it, but I was able to do that and felt good. So I'll save the 2 for Friday just for a little mystery. You don't want to give it up before wedding night. So kept the 2 in the bag and to do those striders. I'm going to probably try to do those striders on like 15. I might try to do like 14 of them on like 15 seconds and really run really hard. That'll Tuesday, give me a couple of days rest and then be ready to go for Friday. But what I would like to do today, I saw Lorenzo Styles in there, and he got me kind of thinking about this. We've gone over the defensive line. We've gone over the linebackers. Go to another phase now. And we'll start cranking down the rest of the position groups of what we kind of expect to see happen and how that's going to work, how we envision this all going, and especially on the defensive side, because you got a lot of ability to play these different fronts and different coverages and packages on the back end. Let's take a look at the defensive backs and how this is going to look for Ohio State. You have the 5 defensive back package now, which is what everybody really runs because you match likes to play personnel. But, could you go 6 DBs? Is it 3 safeties, 3 corners? Is it, 2 safeties, kind of 4 corners? Like how does that all look? They have like, big nickel and big dime and like all these other elements that are kind of different and unique in what these different players bring to the table, how they're going to be able to play, and what they're ultimately going to look like. So I want to break that down here in the next couple of segments and talking about it. One other thing I do want to get to, though, before that, we talked about the defensive line. And Schlegs, the more I was thinking about this and just talking a little bit, the guy who I think has to really be a dude this year, I mean, outside of Edric and K-Mac, I think the guy that can be that next interior defensive lineman after talking to some people and like just seeing him and thinking about him is I think Will Smith Jr. has got to step up and be that guy. Like he's got the physical ability. He has some of that first step explosion like his dad, a little bit like Tyleek had, to where you can penetrate and get in the backfield. And it's just going to be up to him to stay healthy and take that next step to be able to be that guy.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Bob. And And it's not because we played with his dad. It's just
that's part of it, because I know what he's made of.
Right. The genetic potential that's there. But it is, and that's where when you have really young guys, just so everybody knows, when you have really young guys behind veteran guys that are taking a majority of the snaps, it is not necessarily the physical ability that you have to mature, but it's more of the mental side, that you are that guy. Because before, when you're in high school, you were that guy. And then you get to a place like Ohio State and you are no longer that guy, but you are. And you have to be hungry for that. You have to be constantly trying to go, like you put, do hard things and set yourself up for when that opportunity arises, that you can fully seize it. And now he has that opportunity, which is why camp is so paramount for figuring this out, because it also dictates, predicated upon the personnel that you have, the guys that you trust, the depth in those areas, as to what your scheme is going to look like. I will say this, regardless of the fact, the scheme will be dictated about how do I get the best 11 on the field versus that offense. That's what it's always going to be with Matt Patricia. The more you have in the tank to be able to do that, the more you can lean one way over another. But it's always going to be who's the best 11. Will Smith Jr. has an opportunity of being one of those guys that can add a tremendous amount of value to the Buckeyes in 2025.
Absolutely. And you said you're kind of, as you get to that next level, like rediscovering your dudeness,
guys, that's a fact.
It is, like getting the confidence to know that you can play. You've put in all the work. You've been here for, a year, 2 years. Like, it's time now to go. And you have to have that confidence, and you can go make plays like you did when you were in high school or whatever it was before. There's on my Amazon, I go there, Schlegs, and I want to listen to some Kenny Chesney or listen to the 90s. And it says rediscover the 90s or rediscovering Kenny Chesney. And that's the pre-set play mix. And so just rediscovering.
So good.
Yeah.
Kenny's first albums were so good.
They were great, the early on. I mean, and his later ones have good. I know you don't like the beachy stuff in the middle, but he's kind of come back home a little bit. But it's rediscovering just that confidence. And it goes out there, and you've got to get out there and drop it a little bit and go make some plays. And when you do, then all of a sudden you feel really, really good about where you're at and what you're able to do.
We call that dropping your sack and attack.
And then also, Schlegs, here's the book I was talking about. This is a good one. I think you would like it.
I read it.
7 Decisions. You read this too?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, well, it came out, in 2000.
It was after The Traveler's Gift, and then that came out, and of course we all got them. Tress is slinging out books like they're, like a Pez dispenser. But yeah, it was great.
For some reason, I had read The Traveler's Gift, when you guys read, when Tress did, and I'd never gotten this. And I saw this popped up for my Amazon, something you might like. I was like, poof, David Copperfield. Let's get that and talk a little more about the 7 decisions and being a leader and being a dude and all the different things in there. And people always ask, for the reading stuff, what are you reading? I told RJ, he's finishing up Chop Wood, Carry Water. And I go, what did you think about the last couple of chapters? Well, I don't really remember. I go, then we didn't read it. Okay. I don't care if you looked at it and you were consuming words, but we have to make sure that we're digesting this. Okay. This isn't a speed read or a skim. If you're not remembering it, then it doesn't matter. We're not confusing activity with achievement. Achieving the reading of the book is putting the knowledge into your brain. And that is where hopefully it'll stay for some time. I want to tell you about this. Parents and Athletes, trusted by professional athletes, designed by NHL team dentists. They're scientifically tested to help absorb those high-impact hits, protecting both your teeth and your brain. Export mouth guards feature 3 layers of advanced protection, including a patented use of carbon fiber that they 3D print that bad boy right to your grill for more protection, better performance, max comfort, and clear communication. That way you focus on the game and not on the gear. They'll take chances with your safety. Visit the Armory August 2nd. This Saturday from 9 to noon, you get 20% off your fitting in there and your product by using promo code EXPORT20. So schedule the appointment, go to the Armory, they'll fit you up and you'll save 20%. Let's go get it. Go Bucks. Beat
concussions.
Beat concussions. Yes. I beat Medicare, and you can beat a concussion. More of the Bobby Carpenter Show coming up next.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
Refine your golf swing effortlessly right from the comfort of your home with Pure AV. There's no tee time required. Pure AV's full swing golf simulators capture your every move with precision, while realistic graphics and immersive environments bring the thrill of the greens indoors. Perfect for practice, play with friends, or hosting upscale events. Discover the flawless blend of sport and luxury. Book your consultation today at pureavcorp.com.
Welcome back in the Bobby Carpenter Show. And like promised, we're going to break down the defensive backs. Like, so what Ohio State has typically done, like last year, they had played with two corners, and then they played with a free safety, which was typically Lathan Ransom.
Yep.
And then they played with a strong safety, which a lot of times was Caleb Downs. And then they called the adjuster, which was it's kind of like a strong safety generally rolled to the strength, the two receiver side, or maybe the field. And there was some different deals with it. Last year, that position was Jordan Hancock, who was a big corner.
Yep.
So he could be physical in the run game and also guard that number 3 receiver and play some man, play some zone, everything. So this year, I mean, it'll be the same, 4-2-ish 5, maybe 3-3-5, different setups of how they'll align the front. But in the back end, typically you have 5 DBs. Now, again, some teams, you play at Wisconsin, they're running the ball a little more. You play in Iowa, like it's going to be 4 defensive backs. They'll be pulling that adjuster or that nickel back off the field. But you're looking at your 2 corners this year. You lost Denzel Burke. He's gone. David Sinigbanuson's coming back. And Jermaine Matthews played a ton last year.
Yeah, he did.
And was really good. And was it Davidson that was hurt, or maybe Denzel, like some of those guys, they were battling some stuff. And Jermaine played a lot as a freshman too. And so he's got that dog, Schlegs.
Yes.
When you talked about Jermaine, you go, he's got like 1,000 little pit bulls like trapped up inside him.
He should have a pit bull tattoo, like trying to claw out of his stomach, like multiple heads. Remember that guy? I don't know if it was in the Odyssey or maybe Hercules had to fight him, but it was that 3-headed
dog.
Pit bull dog.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what should be clawing. That should be a tattoo for him, clawing out of his stomach.
Yeah. I mean,
that's him with a great smile, everybody. Like, he is ultra competitive. He has that dog. He has that chip, right? But he's always smiling. Like, I love the guy.
Yeah, I do. And he's a tough dude. He's always talking, always bringing lots of juice. And my brother had a term for this when he was coaching. He's a Winton Woods guy, Cincinnati dude, local product, but he's a character with character, he is a guy everyone knows when he's around.
That's a great point.
And, but he's a high, he's always loose and always fun. Like, you're never going to catch Jermaine Matthews nervous. Like, there's never going to be a moment, when you look at him, his anxiety, for him, you put anxiety in and confidence comes out. It's like a little smoothie. Like, you put the anxiety rocks in there, and then just grinds them into sand, and then it just pours it out the other side. Because he could get beat 3 times in practice, and he's still going to talk. He's still going to hop back out there, and he's still going to go. And then on the other side of that, you have David Sinigbanuson, who, senior transfer out of Ole Miss. He's been here for a number of years now.
Wait, was he at Syracuse?
No, he was at Ole Miss.
Really?
Ole Miss dude. Yeah, because they had asked him about Quinshon when he was coming through, and just what he was about. But David Sinigbanuson, I always get on him because he's a dog and likes to compete all the time. Long, rangy guy. I lost his damn name. The defensive back that was here a number of years ago that drafted by the Lions. High hip, fast dude. He was number 3 pick overall, and it's going to kill me. But he reminds me of him, high hip, tall dude, really good straight.
O'Neal?
Who? No.
No.
It's
Williams. Jameson? Jamo?
No, it's not James. No, it'll not I'm going to say Emeka Ibuka. It's Okuda, Jeff Okuda.
Oh, okay.
Got to get, listen, that CTE Schleg's just cranking away, getting it back in there. Jeffrey Okuda. But a high hip guy, physical on the outside, made that great play last year, Schleg's. Remember against Penn State, like at the end of the half, and you're thinking like they're getting a for sure 3. Oh, it looked like it was a touchdown fade in the corner. Oh, wait, Davidson picked it off, got a toe down, Buckeyes ball going the other way.
Huge,
and just super juice. One of the great plays you'll see in all of football. So he'll be the other corner, full-time guy. Now, and I always get on him because he doesn't smile enough. I go, do you like playing football, Davidson? Do you like being here? IGB, call him IGB. Do you enjoy it? Like, is this a fun to you? And then then smile, because Jermaine, but it's good that him and Jermaine are like the exact, he's like the Joker. I always go, why so serious? IGB, like, let's go. And so he's the other corner. And then with that, you've got 2 young guys that are behind those dudes that, and this is what happens because you get guys that transfer, like either you're playing or you're not. And the guys that didn't, a lot of those guys had left, and that's all good. But you've got Aaron Scott Jr., who is a second-year player, very similar to Davidson, maybe a little more like fluid in his motion, but I mean,
fast.
I mean, Aaron Scott's like my height, isn't he, Schlegs? I mean, I would say he's all of 6'2", 6'1".
Yeah, he ain't quite to your height, Bob, but I mean, he is a taller corner who can fly. Like, he can run.
He is listed at 6 foot, but I mean, maybe it's because he was so lean. Now he's listed at 185 as well, but he's more like 195 now because Mick's been on him.
Well, and because him and Bryce, like different body types, like Bryce, when you talk about Bryce can stack on the weight. Like, Aaron has to eat to stay up to weight. And he's now at 195, which is perfect for him.
That's what I told him. I go, and Bryce West, and Aaron Scott, Springfield guy, Bryce West, who plays some corner and some inside slot, and we'll get to the inside guys here in a minute. But Bryce plays outside. And what Tim Walton does, folks, the best part about him is like, hey, if you're playing outside corner, I'm going to have you play some inside corner. Like, if you have the physical traits to be able to do it, because that's going to add value to you with the team, but it's also going to add value to you individually as you go into the next level. And then also, if there's a great receiver and you end up being the best corner, you put him in the slot. We want to play man. Boom, you go inside and you play him in man. That's all good. Like, you can do it because it's a big difference from playing outside versus inside. So you've got Aaron Scott and then another corner and a true freshman and Devin Sanchez, who was described to me by someone, and he looks good in the spring. We'll see how much he develops here in fall camp. But, I mean, someone had told me Jeremy Birmingham called him the J.J. Smith of, like, corners. He's like, he's big, he's physical, he's coming, he's going to be ready to play. And so those are kind of your 2 primary backups for those positions as you're kind of looking at that and figuring it out. So that's 4 because you're going to want to roll those guys because it's a lot of heat, as you know, Schlegs, the long speed that you have to be able to have at corner. And like, dude runs a go route on you and you run 60 yards down the field, they bring in a new receiver. You need to have a fresh corner coming in with him because of what that does and how that'll tax your hamstrings, and just the ability to continue to do that play after play after play can be very, very tough. So you want to make sure that you're rolling guys, and you need to have depth in case there's injury.
We saw that with oh shoot, what year was that? 2023, right? So it's like, who went down? Oh no, Malik went in, and Lathan went out. Right, he had an injury, and he went in. Guys, it's so important, especially early on in the season, but even in big moments, to be able to have the depth, because you can't replicate live bullets as much as we want to say. You can do it in practice, and preparation stops when the foot hits the ball, but there's nothing like live bullets in the moment in front of 100,000 people, regardless of where you play. Like, they need those type of reps because it just looks different. And it's the ability to adjust in game that separates the older guys that have a lot of, ball experience in the game versus ones that don't, because they can make those adjustments on the fly. We kind of saw that in 2023 because I remember there was that little skinny post and he just went one step too far. If Lathan was there, he'd have made that play. And it like that, but that's the why. That's the why that you create that depth throughout the season. And you have to have those guys, just like Little Caesars, right? Hot and ready.
You need them hot and ready. So like, if someone comes in, tries to fight you, Little Caesar, you're hot and ready, ready to go. And it's funny, the Aaron Scott and Bryce West, because they're both corners. One's Glenville, one's Springfield. And, I told those guys, I go, man, it's special. You guys both have immense ability. Like Bryce West, super fast, a little shorter, thicker, like stouter
Yeah.
dude. And was playing in the slot, made some really nice plays in the spring. But I joked, I go, you guys need to go eat together. And Aaron, you need to steal the last couple bites off Bryce's plate. That way you guys can both be 195 together. So that's when you guys both come in and your weights are close, that's a good thing. Because Aaron, that means you've been gaining weight, and Bryce, that means you've been losing, and you're where you need to be.
And they're different, right? Like IGB will play the run. Bryce, he's not 6 foot. He's taller than that. I think he's closer. He's taller than me, and I'm 6'1.5". I know that for a fact. And I don't, try to skew those numbers. I'm like 6006. Okay, like I know exactly what I am. So he's taller than me. So he's probably closer to 6'1", if not 6'1.5". Bryce is shorter, but Bryce is a lot like Lorenzo. Like he could be a thicker dude, but that's exactly what you need in that adjuster position, because they'll come inside and play in the box. And again, you got to remember too, like Lorenzo had a shoulder. Like you got to have this depth, and they're young guys, but they're also going behind Lorenzo, senior transfer, redshirt, right? Older guy. IGB, senior transfer, older guy. Caleb played a significant amount of ball. Jermaine's played a lot of ball. He's a junior. And then you got a bunch of freshmen, and sophomores and another junior and Malik
Just
right
drop
behind
an
them.
S on freshmen.
What's that?
Just drop an S on freshmen, swag.
Plural,
I'm
freshmen.
going to call you Schlag. Freshmen, MEN, versus freshman, which would be just one.
Freshmans.
Freshmen's.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a break. We're going to let you reconstitute your mind and brain, and then we're going to come on back, and we're going to talk about the inside portion of this defense, what that looks like with the safeties. We touched on a little bit with the nickelback or the adjuster, because some of those guys go inside now, but we'll break all that down here coming up next on the Bobby Carpenter Show.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
Hi, I'm Bob Davis with Fairway Ford in Canfield.
For the first time in our history, Fairway Ford is selling nearly every new Ford car, truck, and SUV at Ford employee pricing, or even less. We've geared up with more than 500 pre-tariff priced new Fords. This will save you thousands and thousands of dollars. Being number one means nobody can match our prices or selection. Nobody. Fairway Ford, built on trust, driven by community.
Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Let's finish up this back end of the secondary. And so we talked a lot about the outside. And so we kind of dove into the corner, that inside corner.
Do we talk enough about Devin Sanchez? Because he is a dude that is big. He is a big freshman.
He is. He's good. Like that's what Berm told me he was the JJ Smith. He's going to come in and like he'll be physically ready to go. He'll look like he needs to, and he'll have all the physical traits, but he's like 6'2", or 6'1", 6'2", from North Shore High School, Houston, Texas, another Texas kid, but really, really talented, big. And like, he's gonna have to make some plays in the spring, but he's going to be in that rotation.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys, like Bryce is a little bit shorter. Jermaine's not short, but he's not like over 6 foot. But a lot of these guys, man, Tim goes and gets some tall dudes, man. Like if you can find tall guys that can move, you got to have a hell of a defense on the back end. Now let's talk a little bit, Schlegs, about the safety. So number one, wherever you're deciding to play Caleb Downs, whether that's free or that's strong, like he's locked down one of those positions. And he's ready to go and going to be one of the best players in the country, and also going to have to be someone that is directing traffic back there. So he's going to be one. We don't need to really spend too much more time on him unless you'd like to add some more superlative Schlegs about just how the greatness of Caleb Downs, like as a dude, as a player, like as a leader, all those things.
I mean, I think everybody has seen the stuff that he's put out. I think He is a high character guy. He's very stoic in his mannerisms. I think he's going to have an extremely good year because of the way that Matt Patricia is going to use him. And what that also does is, just so everybody knows, just because like you look at a depth chart and Devin Sanchez might be behind a Jermaine Matthews and Aaron Scott might be behind IGB and you got Lorenzo Style, does not mean that's like where they're going to fit. A lot of them are interchangeable, and a lot of them are what side of the football do they perform better on. But when you're a young guy, you're going to learn them all. That's what was so valuable about Caleb when he came in. Like he could do a multitude of things. Hell, he ran a punt back for a touchdown last season. But Caleb will be an IGB and Jermaine and Lorenzo. Like those four older guys are going to be the ones that are dictating the room, right? Power the unit, because then they separate into the smaller units of corner and safeties. But he's going to be the one that's directing traffic. And I will say this about Caleb. Last thing, he has great football awareness. Like he has great football acumen, right? Football literacy, whatever you want to call it. Like he just knows and studies the game, and he's elite at that, which allows him to play very, very fast, which is a bonus to these young guys that want to come in. And it's a bonus for us in recruiting because guys want to be like, they can resonate with, oh, I want to be that type of guy. Guess what? Be a Buckeye.
Guess what? Be a Buckeye. Now, you talked about Lorenzo. Now, he's one of the few guys, Schlegs, that, he started his career at Notre Dame as a wide receiver.
Yep.
Up there a couple of years, came down here. He backed up Jordan last year. And I was saying, like, he was one of the most valuable guys because they were worried, like, if Jordan went down, he was so vital to the defense that who would step in? Like, it was going to have to be Lorenzo. Had a little shoulder deal, took care of it this offseason. He's a senior, very smart player, heady dude. If you didn't know, he's Sonny's older brother. And so he'll be finishing up this year. But he will be that inside piece primarily. Like he doesn't really play outside corner. He does a little bit. He can do some safety, but he's got a little bit of that Jordan Hancock to him where he's a bigger guy, physical, really smart. And to understand that, like, when you're a corner, like coming in, like when you play outside corner, it's the sideline you than everybody else. Well, as soon as you take one step in, you got other guys beside you on both sides. Then all of a sudden you're fitting in zones differently. You got to do different stuff. And Zoe's got a really good feel for that, really good feel for the game. And he's a physical piece that can come down and hit. And so they've been playing Bryce behind him as well. They've been rotating some other guys through there just to cross-train everybody. But I anticipate Lorenzo being that adjuster, that nickel back, if you will, that third corner on the field.
Yep, I agree with that. And that's going to, guys, it's just where it's going to play out, why camp is so important. Lorenzo, veteran guys, some of that can also communicate in the back end, communicate with the linebackers, know where your fits and run responsibilities are, which goes into the next one that I want you to get into, because this is really where when we talk about battles, like there's battles going on, right? Like who are the defensive ends going to be? Who's the starter? And again, I will say this, starting doesn't really matter when you're in these positions. It's about fits and opportunity of where they're going to be. The real battle in the secondary is at that safety position with McClain and Malik Hartford. Why don't you go into that?
Yeah, and one other thing, like in the thing about this Matt Patricia defense, there may be times where they want to get like Bryce out there is really like a true third corner, depending on what you're playing and who you're playing against. If there's a team that's got someone who's, a great receiver, whatever.
Like three receivers, like us. We put out three receivers. Like we might want a better cover nickel in that, like, boom, you interchangeable.
And not as much. Well, the thing is, we can run the ball. We being Ohio State can run the ball too, but you can do a 3rd and 10, like third and real long yardage. Hey, let's run some pressures or run some blitzing. Let's get our 3 like best inside cover guys. And so like then you might change and go to Bryce West or someone like that. And then that other big position in there is going to be you mentioned Jalen McClain and Malik Hartford. Now Malik came in when Lathan got hurt, and he's made some plays. And he's also left some on the table. He needed to get bigger. He battled some injuries, but
he's tall, guys. He's tall.
But he's also need to put weight on. He looks a lot better physically, Schlegs.
Yes,
like
he does.
Know this. You can see he made a commitment to the weight room. I thought played really well in the spring. Jalen McClain doesn't really talk a whole lot. Very quiet guy, very stoic dude. But he's also someone who, like, physically imposing, started making plays. He's a Jersey kid, 6 feet tall, just tough as nails. And so, I'm curious to see how that's going to work and how they're going to, maybe they rotate those guys. but how Tim Walton and Matt Guerrieri are going to kind of piece that secondary together and play with it a little bit to try to get the best guys that they possibly can on the field. Kind of your thoughts on that?
They're different style of players with different sizes, because Malik is extremely tall, physical guy, can run. Jalen is a little bit shorter, but he's still physical. They give him some options. Like this camp for them is huge. And you also got to remember too, Malik in his sophomore year was hurt.
Yeah.
So that kind of put him behind the eight ball. But he's made a commitment. Like, this is the battle. When I look at, like, it's literally 1A and 1A right now for that position. And it's going to come down to who has the best camp, right? And who do they want to be able to fit in that. And that's the thing. Right now they're pegged at strong safety. How does that look with what Caleb can do? Like, the guys that can be the most versatile, because they're going to put Caleb in situations to go make plays, because that's what he does because of his football ability. So who's the guy that can communicate and also do multiple things in that safety role will be the guy that, at the end of the day wins the job. And they're going to pressure test him during camp.
What they did during spring even some was, like, they'd pull Caleb out just for rep count, and they would let Jalen and Malik play both safety spots and switch them back and forth and just see, like, what you can do. In this coverage, you're doing this. Well, you know what? Let's change responsibilities, run the same coverage, flip you guys. One play strong now, one play free, and just kind of work with it, because it's just pieces on a board. And so understanding, like, how you fit and what you're able to do is a huge, huge piece of it. I want to tell you about our friends over at Backer. Listen, we talk about their gear all the time. It's bckr.com, premium gear for premium Buckeye fans. They do have other colleges out there if you want to check them out. But listen, the Buckeye gear is the best. Wind, cold, rain, they've got it all for you. They've got hats. They're starting to get some bucket hats. People have asked for some fitteds. They're working through that. They've got all the great gear out there for you and some good stuff. And I think, Schlegs, they may have a pretty cool partnership coming up that's going to be something fun to be part of. But it's that high-end hunting, fishing, skiing gear, golf gear that you love so much. I love wearing it. It's worked out great for me. It's absolutely tremendous. So use promo code Bobby, all caps, BOBBY at checkout. That's going to give you free expedited shipping. Again, that's backerbckr.com. Coming up next, we'll have our headlines. We'll break down some of the big news across college football.
Tired of your old and outdated bathroom? Well, now's the perfect time to upgrade with Smart Choice Baths. We are family owned and operated and can install your bathroom as quick as one day. And all bathrooms come with a limited lifetime warranty. Smart Choice Baths can turn your bathroom into this. And right now, for all Big Play viewers, we're offering $1,500 off all bathroom projects with an additional 10% off. To claim this special offer, call or click today.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
All right, Schlegs, welcome in to our headlines, brought to you by our friends at Lake Spur Marketing. Lake Spur Marketing are a full-service ad agency built on trust, on strategy, and performance. From their digital ad placement to broadcast buys, creative, and everything in between, Lake Spur, they've got you covered. They're a full soup-to-nuts operation. At Lake Spur Marketing, there isn't a set-it-and-forget-it strategy. What they're going to do is customize their tactics to fit your needs. Leave your marketing to them so you can do what you do best, which is run your business and let them help you grow it. Lake Spur Marketing, the proof is in their partners. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today. All right, Schlegs, we talked about McLean and Hartford. That will be the battle to watch, I think, as you articulately pointed out during training camp. So that's going to be one of the critical ones. And then some of those other backup roles and just seeing the rotation and see how much some of the young guys play is also going to be mission critical as well. The headlines here, like, this was interesting. The Bucks Wire, the conversation that Caleb Downs was having, the differences between Nick Saban and Ryan Day. And it was interesting how he chose to come here. He chose Bama first chose Bama over Ohio State initially. And then after Nick leaves, he comes back and ends up going to Ohio State, which I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen. I thought he was going to stay there, potentially go to Georgia. I didn't get myself excited about it. And then all of a sudden, they said it was going to happen. Boom, he comes here. And I mean, he's been as advertised. But he said meaning Nick Saban, was the most consistent person I've ever met. He was the same person every day. And that's something that I acknowledge I learned from him. Just watching how he operated is a key piece to success. Just make sure every day you put your best foot forward and you go in with the intention of the best and the mindset, I'm going to do everything the right way so I can be in the position. According to him, came down a path he wanted to blaze, wanted to talk about Saban, rode off in the sunset. He goes, I wanted to be part of a culture and people that are like-minded. They had great people that I knew from recruitment. They had a couple of players that I knew, a lot of coaches I knew, and it was a good situation to come into. I knew they had a lot of returning players and a lot of hungry guys that were eager to win. I knew we'd at least have a chance to do something special, which we did, that being Ohio State and what he was ultimately able to do here. So just caring for your players, knowing them intimately, caring about them off the field is always something I've learned from him. This is him on Ryan Day. Said it's not always do this. It's, hey, can I get your guys' opinion on this? How can we grow better together? That type of vibe, I feel like that's a special thing as a coach, not always being like, I have to be the one that does everything, to be able to say, here are my players, have some input. I'm going to take that input and then see what we can do with it. And Shakes, I'll tell you this, that's probably Ryan's greatest attribute is his ability to literally source information from coaches and also from players. And it's something that I think, with Jim Tress will be involved, because Tress always said the best ideas often come from the players. But Ryan's ability now is maturing as a head coach and being a head coach now for 6-7 years, how much better he's developed with that and confident in developing his style, I think is something that's separates him from a lot of coaches out there.
Yeah, he said it, right? It's like the coach doesn't have to feel like he has to be all things and know all things and run it his way. And then he went on later to say the biggest difference is the standard is the same. It's just a different philosophy. Yeah. Expectations are the same. Win every game, dominate every play. But the means of how they do it is a little bit different. And that's kind of the biggest thing. But it doesn't mean that one way is better than the other. I think that, especially when I told you guys about this generation, and it's a very much why, what, and when generation than when you and I were playing, Bob, when it was a when, what, and why, like do it now. What am I doing? Here's what you're doing. Why am I doing it? Was the last. It's been inverted. And these guys want a little bit of autonomy and a little bit of ownership when earned. Ryan's not going to like the third string freshman, all right, to ask these why, some input. He's going to his leadership, the guys that are the dudes that can control the room, the ones that set the tone and get a little bit of their buy-in. And the great thing is when you do this, they will unequivocally tell you, no, we need hard things. No, you heard it earlier on this year. Hey, we don't want any of the 2024 banners, stuff in the wall. Like Ryan even said it. We're not defending anything. We are the attacking national champions. Well, we are. And a lot of that comes from those younger guys. Like, what do they feel is needed for them to have a successful season? And they would say, no, we need a harder match. J.J. Smith said this was a harder offseason than 2024. Why? That's what they needed.
Yeah.
So when you go into Mick, like, no, we need it hard. We need accountability. We need to be stressed. All right, cool. We're going to do that, And so and again, when they know not necessarily what the blueprint is, not necessarily what are the reps and sets and what are the competitions we're doing on that day, they don't need to know that. They just need to know we need it harder. We need it difficult because we need to be tested. They can live with that because they're the ones that gave the input.
There you go. That's it for our headlines. Tailgate talk coming up next.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
Who doesn't love having everything at their fingertips? With Pure AV's smart home automation, you can seamlessly manage your home's audio, video, lighting, security, and more, all with a simple touch. Create a sanctuary that embodies your unique style and personalized features that bring comfort to every moment. Sit back, relax, and let Pure AV bring convenience and control to your home. Visit us at pureavcorp.com today.
All right, welcome back to the Bobby Carpenter Show. Our tailgate talk brought to you by our friends over at Real Truck Schlegs.
Love these sweet camo hats, man. I'm still rocking it a year later.
Bring your truck to life, dude, over at realtruck.com. Tim Walton talks about the Brotherhood all the time. Brotherhood is real, and this is one of the cool things they do, these different events, at different places throughout the city. I'm trying to figure out where they got all the defensive backs together, and then you can see also pictured, Tim's dead in the center there. Guerreri's flanked on the far right as you look. Matt Patricia's on the left. So I don't know if you saw, I was looking through trying to find Taver Johnson's like on the back and on his tiptoes right by the door. You can barely see his face. But what is also cool in there is you've got some other former players, guys that we played with Schlegs. Mike Doss sitting down there in the front. He got up and talked. You had Chimdi Chekwa, who's sitting up in the front of the picture. I believe he's got a hat on now, and I think he shaved his braids off. But you got Yao Ming, a.k.a. Antonio Smith.
Yeah, he's over there. He's over there in the red cat. Matter of fact, side nugget, he drives a diesel dually. I saw him at an event we did for Devin Jordan. I was like, bro, look at that truck, man. What are you hauling around? He just smiled at me. But that's it, Bob. Like, different perspective, different eras. What does it mean to be an Ohio State defensive back? These coaches want it. The players want it. It's really cool, man.
Oh, yeah. It's great to have all those guys there. And that's what honestly separates Ohio State is the fact that, those guys played. Some of those guys are older than us. Some of them played with us. Antonio Smith is our age. And just guys being around each other. And that is what is key about the brotherhood of these guys, like you said, giving people different perspective, talking to them about your experiences, because there's not a lot of people that walk through those doors, man. And there's not a lot of people that can relate to the opportunities that are there and the pressure that comes with that. And pressure is a privilege, but with that, like being able to talk to people who have been through it, who have gone through it, who understand what that's all about, because it's not the easiest thing. And so they can give some perspective in life. And it helps too, because Tim played here. So he's going to be able to give that connectivity and understand and be able to pull some of those guys in. He gives them they call it Talk to Him Tuesday, Schlegs. Be different and the difference. Be different and be the difference. See the difference in your game, Schlegs.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Hey, guess what? We're doing some crazy stuff striking machine-wise at Ohio State this season, unlike anybody else. But, to me, like, even in that, I just saw, like, Rosinski, right? And, like, you and I we didn't play with him, but we know his dad very well. Ryan just celebrated his 21st birthday. Walk-on kid. Going to be great on special teams. You got Iki out there. Iki he's like a corner, but he's not a corner. And his name is Brenton Jones, by the way. But, like, he's an absolute freak. Like, but they're part of it because they're walk-ons, but they play teams, man. Like, and they're good. Like, they would have scholarships to any MAC school, but they're Buckeyes and they're going to play teams. That's what it's about. It's just everybody going out there every single day, trying to make everybody better, trying to make the power of the unit better, trying to make the defensive unit better, trying to make Ohio State football team better, and then be able to go pull in former players, your coaches, and understanding what we're going to do going into camp. And it's like super chill on your own, and they want to be there. It's not like pulling teeth. I've talked to these guys multiple times, and they do a lot of things together, and it's not like, oh, I don't want to go do – no, they genuinely want to go hang out with each other. Like, that's who they live with. That's who they're in the building with every single day, and they enjoy it. Really special. Just
guys being dudes, Slice. Just guys being dudes. All right, coming up, We're going to wrap up the show with the parting thoughts of one Anthony Schlegel.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
Who doesn't love having everything at their fingertips? With Pure AV's smart home automation, you can seamlessly manage your home's audio, video, lighting, security, and more, all with a simple touch. Create a sanctuary that embodies your unique style and personalized features that bring comfort to every moment. Sit back, relax, and let Pure AV bring convenience and control to your home. Visit us at pureavcorp.com today.
All right, Schlegs, floor is yours, sir. You got a minute.
I'm not. You know what? I was going to do something, but we're too close to time.
We'll wait. We'll save that for tomorrow.
Yeah,
the final week of football, the training session. We'll give them. We'll drop that nugget to them on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just gonna. I only have a minute, but I'm gonna say. I don't even know what I was gonna say. This would be a really good one, though, guys. Astronomer. Hey, Jeff Schwartz, and the reason I'm mentioning this, Jeff comes on. Oregon guy, great commentary, astronomer. There's a lot of stuff out there. This is a good side nugget.
What does Jeff Schwartz have to do with astronomer?
No. He just says, well played on here because they got Gwyneth Paltrow on there. People are like, astronomer, what's going on with the, you don't have to play the audio, just play the video. Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, everybody knows her. She's Piper or something from
Piper Potts off of
Iron Man. All the things.
Pepper
but again, it's just Pepper. It's just a great deal, man. And Jeff's our guy. And when Jeff and I follow Jeff, so when Jeff retweets well done, astronomer, you took something that could potentially be a negative. You used all that positive juice and you put it to what you really do. I still really don't know what it is. It's something with AI.
She used to be married to Chris Martin, who's the Coldplay lead singer.
Even better.
That's why I worked.
Tie it all together. See, I didn't even know that. I just thought Jeff was being cool because they hired a celebrity to break this down. But they intertwined it with the Coldplay and the Coldplay Kiss Cam. And guess what? We got new people now leading the company. And here's what we do, astronomer. Buckeyes.
All right, there we go. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Couple more sleeps until camp. We'll be ready to rock. Stay locked in for the Bobby Carpenter Show.
Creative, experience, results. That's what drives growth. That's what builds brands. That's Lake Spur Marketing, a full-service agency built on trust, strategy, and performance, not fluff. From bold strategies to flawless execution, every campaign is rooted in smart planning and driven by clear goals. We don't chase clicks. We build partnerships. We show up, dig in, and deliver every single time. Lake Spur Marketing. The proof is in our partners.
Tired of your old and outdated bathroom? Well, now's the perfect time to upgrade with Smart Choice Baths. We are family-owned and operated and can install your bathroom as quick as one day. And all bathrooms come with a limited lifetime warranty. Smart Choice Baths can turn your bathroom into this. And right now, for all Big Play viewers, we're offering $1,500 off all bathroom projects with an additional 10% off. To claim this special offer,